everyone. Welcome to NASES podcast season 2, where we will continue to share and explore the beautiful life of animal health industry and much more generic topics. Today, I will be the host for your episode, Noor Khalid, and we will dive into the poultry industry from a global perspective with Francesco Pranzini, the global expert consultant for poultry. He has more than 37 years of experience, and at the light of the event of today, the Layers Expert Congress 3rd edition. Let's take further with today's episode. Very warm welcome, Francesco.
Thank you very much.
Francesco has more than 37 years of experience in the poultry industry among different aspects. So, with the very first question, I'd like you to take us through your career journey and its evolution along the years and what led you to be a poultry consultant.
Okay, so thanks a lot for this opportunity to share my experience, my professional life with you. My work in poultry started with the university. I did my thesis for my graduation in 1985 and 86, and finally I got my degree in 1988 as a doctor in veterinary medicine, which is the same for all type of vets in Italy. But then I spent all my professional life in poultry production, so I consider myself a poultry vet for this reason. I did all my, further studies, experience in this sector. Started in Italy in the poultry industry with different integrated companies for 13 years. And during this time, I experienced different type of jobs as a technical manager for a feed company, then for the biggest, the leader egg producer in Italy. It was a very large cooperative. I spent 2 years as a production director in egg processing and egg grading, egg quality in this company. Then I had the opportunity to be managing director in production in other companies. And in 2000, I joined a vaccine company. And since then, I had an international position as initially as European and Asia Far East technical manager. And then I have been in charge of Europe, Middle East and Africa, and finally since 2016 as a global technical director in this vaccine company. And I stopped my job as employee of a vaccine company in October last year, 2024. And since then, I thought, since I accumulated such a big experience all in this sector, I thought it was a good idea to put my experience at the service of the poultry industry in case any poultry company or vaccine company was interested to have my collaboration.
Transfer, yes, of the experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I thought I spent so much time
doing this,
visiting farms, studying. I published papers. I had a collaboration with hundreds of different poultry vets and specialists in the world.
Yes.
So
time to extend the experience.
Yeah. It would have been inspiring. A pity to stop completely.
Yes.
And by the way, I enjoyed my job all the time, although it was a bit sometimes stressful to travel, everywhere. And at the same time, you have to manage your family, your private things. So it's not always comfortable.
That's easy, yeah.
But professionally, it is the best way to learn a lot of things in a short time.
Yes. What did you love the most about that?
I love a lot to meet different people in different countries and continents, and finally understand that in all these different conditions, we are very much similar each other. So the way of thinking of a poultry vet, for example, in Europe, is not so different. I would say it is quite similar to a poultry vet in Asia Far East or in China or in Middle East or in Latin America. We have our own specificity, of course, because of our education, culture, etc. But it is quite easy to find common topics and views and exchange very quickly and very efficiently our experience. And this is a way to enrich our culture, our knowledge.
Very, very inspiring.
Yes.
Exchanging cultures and mindsets is always the key. So, Okay, so...
And also I enjoyed the hospitality from these people from these countries, because usually I felt I was treated like a very important person, although I was a simple poultry vet like the others. But I felt sometimes even, cocooning, even taking care of myself in the very best way.
Yes. Very, very inspiring, Francesco. Nice to hear that. So taking you further with the significant trends currently shaping the global poultry industry. So what do you think about that? What are the most significant trends at that time?
Okay, I think the rationale behind this question is who is leading, deciding what type of production the poultry industry should implement. And the answer is the consumers. Okay, so ourselves as consumers, we want to eat this type of poultry meat, this type of eggs. We want to have chickens treated by this way. And so the poultry industry, I think, can only follow the the requirements set by the consumers. Okay, the poultry industry doesn't deal directly with the individual consumers. They deal with supermarkets, with big food chains, distributors, etc. But behind this, there are individual people who have their own ideas, and they lead production according to their requirements. Nowadays, since several years, consumers, they want poultry meat and eggs produced by chickens, by animals reared according to certain welfare requirements, especially in some geographical areas like Europe, Americas, etc. But then the other countries in the other regions, they tend to follow these opinion leaders, because so at the end, I think all the world will go for this trend to grow poultry according to the welfare requirements to guarantee certain conditions to this. The other point is the quality of poultry products, meat and eggs, not only in terms of taste and strictly food characteristics, but also, absence of antibiotics and this type of products. So it's some companies, they go for non-antibiotics ever, or some they go for minimum use in any case according to the local regulations. So at the end, the final product in terms of quality is free from residues of antibiotics. But there is there are protocols to assure that the final result is this. There is also a trend at the moment is, to my knowledge, in Western Europe, I don't think in other areas is already implemented. It is concerning sexing of day-old commercial pullets. I mean, it is well known that in production of eggs, the only animals who are producing are the females. Okay, okay. So historically there were how to say a way to produce not to use any males because they don't produce eggs. Yeah, but the trend now is to avoid to eliminate these animals, and there are different technologies that will help to avoid this type of process, and this is also part of the, how to say, welfare topic.
Yeah, so I believe the trend comes from a specific circumstance at a specific time. So it evolves from time to time and from a market to another. So yeah, glad to hear that from a global perspective. Okay, jumping into today's innovation, AI, technology that is evolving and getting viral day by day, very, very strongly and heavily. So what do you think about that in terms of shaping the future of the poultry industry?
I think at the moment AI has not yet given a big contribution to the innovation in poultry production, but it is going on, so it is improving. I think artificial intelligence will help to optimize production, to reduce the cost of production, which are always very critical, because the poultry market is typically a market with low margins, so decreasing cost of production is a must to stay in the market. Artificial intelligence, together with other technology or applied to other technologies, like for example ventilation in the poultry farms, control of the environment, quality of the air, they will play together to guarantee the best environmental conditions to chickens during their production cycles.
Build them a great climate
circumstances. And also I think there will be ways to use artificial intelligence to optimize the feed conversion of chickens, which is also very critical, because a small percentage of difference in the capabilities of chickens to transform feed in meat or eggs is critical to guarantee a return on investment or not. Yeah. So I think these technologies will help producers to optimize these parameters.
Okay, this is for the artificial intelligence or the AI. So what do you think about the technology specifically in vaccines and in products?
In vaccines, actually, I'm involved. I've been involved so many times in this subject, in this matter. In the last, now we can say 20 years, there have been development by different vaccine companies of vaccines based on new technologies. They are named mainly vector vaccines, vaccines where a virus is working as a carrier of antigens taken from other viruses to develop and to induce a protection with or against 2 or 3 or 4 different diseases with a single injection
at a time. Okay.
At the hatchery. So even in ovo, in embryonic eggs or day-old chicks, one single injection can provide or induce protection against 3 or 4 diseases during the life of the chickens. So these are technologies that are absolutely important and useful. And by the way, the same type of technologies have been used, for example, to develop vaccines for human beings. We all remember, vaccines against COVID, for example. Yeah. So this is about technology for vaccines, and there are also other technologies who are helpful to better control, as I said before, the environment inside the poultry houses, and to monitor, for example, the behavior of chickens and understand as soon as possible if there is anything wrong or not optimized in the behavior, which may depend, for example, on a disease or some conditions which are not good for the birds. Understanding these situations as soon as possible may lead to better and earlier possibilities to control or to prevent problems.
Yeah. So for sure, technology will make the producer's life a little bit easier and more convenient.
Yeah. There are examples of, for example, robots who can monitor the movements of chickens, the sound of their voice, to understand if there is an incubation of a respiratory problem or enteric issues or other.
Yes, voices and sounds analyzing. So
Yes.
Okay. So Francesco, if you have an advice that you could give for a new entry for a poultry producer, someone would enter the poultry sector for the very first part of his career life, what would you like to tell him?
Okay, so a poultry producer today we may mean either a single farmer who is going to build a new farm, or a poultry company, a new poultry company, which is much bigger, more complicated.
Yeah, but quite different.
In any case, in both options, my recommendation is to understand, analyze, and understand the market trends, and try to identify maybe a niche in the market or a sector in the market where you can really develop and put your added value. So, to be simple, many of the largest poultry companies in the world, they produce hundreds of millions or even billions, few billions of chickens per year. But the majority of their production is quite a generic production.
Okay, not standing out.
Yeah, and they export a lot of their meat as frozen meat or generic meat. My recommendation is to develop productions to supply the consumers with the type of food they really look for. So it's a kind of customized production.
Consumer needs.
Yes, the type of meat, the type of eggs from this type of chickens, free range, organic, or slow growing. All this because for me, especially for a new producer and not a large one, it is important to find a way to add your value and to get more margin from your production. Yeah. Otherwise, you cannot compete with those giants in a generic type of production because you will be a loser.
Yeah, of course. So you have to stand out, looking to the current
so
trends.
understand, especially in your country, in your region,
in the market,
what the consumers are looking for.
Do your research.
Maybe think about something new that people don't know, but you can propose and try to get the the approval from the consumers of something new, which is maybe better taste or more related to the welfare or to the quality constraints.
And yes, like as you mentioned, the organic part, because it varies from a time frame to another. People are now more concerned about their healthy lifestyle, are looking more forward about organic food, etc. So it all depends on the current situation and current trends, and accordingly you should build up your strategy.
And the big producers, they cannot compete with you in this field.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes. So thank you so much, Francesco. It was a very, very valuable episode. Your expertise is much appreciated, and thank you for having you today at the NASES podcast and at the Layer Congress Expert 3rd edition. So happy to have you today. Thank you, dear.
You're welcome. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you all for watching and listening, and stay tuned for much more episodes and much more adventures that will be shared with you. Until our very next time, stay connected, positive, and